Welcome to the Dr. Habits Show. I'm Dave Sellers, also known as Dr. Habits. I'm the author of this book, Stop or Start Habits with Outcome Visioning, and founder of the website, myhabits.com. My mission is to help you create a better life for yourself. This program consists of short segments that explain how to change your habits and change your life. Welcome to our studio, Ramey.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be here.
And thank you for compiling some questions from our readers of the book and also our followers on Facebook and Twitter.
Well, you've retired from a long career in teaching. You have written this book. You have a website.
Right.
So why are you doing this?
Well, all of that's true, Ramey. I spent 30 years as a university professor helping students prepare for careers. But my focus now is helping people with the other aspects of life. For example, helping someone lose weight so they feel better about themselves and have a more active lifestyle. Helping a dad be a better parent. Helping a young woman improve her self-esteem. I want to help people create better lives for themselves.
Well, that's great. We have an email here from Martha, and she wants to know, why did you get interested in habits?
In my mid-20s, I realized I had personal problems that were formed in childhood. So I began a 40-year journey of self-discovery and personal growth. I studied and used a number of different therapies to try to solve my own problems.
Can you give us some examples of these therapies?
The list is pretty extensive, I'm embarrassed to say, but there was Transcendental Meditation under the leadership of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Gestalt therapy, transactional analysis, Rolfing, auditing therapy that's offered by the Church of Scientology, Lightbox therapy for seasonal affective disorder, marriage encounter, hypnosis, subliminal tapes, yoga, journaling. I did a lot of journaling over the years, and I read a lot of self-help books. I've got a huge library of self-help books. And throughout these years, I sought counseling from a number of psychologists. So all of these experiences helped me personally, but they also added to my knowledge of personal growth. There's a lot more about my story in the book.
I bet. One of your friends on Facebook has a question. When did you start working on habits?
I remember it well. 2008, I had this aha moment. I was reading a self-help book on personal growth, and I came across a definition of habit. And it said that a habit is a recurring pattern of behavior, thoughts, or feelings. And at the time, I asked myself this question: isn't all personal growth dependent on changing behavior, thoughts, and feelings? So to test out my theory, I studied my own habits and recorded them. And then I started studying the habits of other people. And my research continued with a lot of reading. I read over 100 books and articles on this topic. So I've been studying how to make change in people's lives for many years.
Well, what did you learn from your research that you did?
Based on my personal experience and also all the research that I've done, I'm convinced that if you want to change your life, you've got to change your habits. And the book captures everything that I've learned about creating a better life.
Wow. Here's another question from Facebook. They want to know, how did you get the name Dr. Habits?
That question comes up quite a bit. And it's an interesting story. A friend of mine actually came up with it. Part of my research involved talking to a lot of people. And often I would be asking her questions about her habits. She knew I had a doctoral degree in a different area, and she kind of put the two together, doctor and habits, Dr. Habits. She started calling me Dr. Habits, and my friends started calling me Dr. Habits, and it just sort of caught on.
That's great. Some of our listeners would like to know about the process that you used to write this book.
I've written other books, but I decided to use a different approach with this one. After I completed all of my research, I rented a house in Grand Haven, Michigan.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
It really is. It's a beautiful town. It's right on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Right.
Grand Haven is only about 40 miles from my home in Grand Rapids. So I spent all week in Grand Haven writing. And I wrote from 7 o'clock in the morning until the wee hours. I took weekends off. And this process went on for 6 months.
Wow.
And I would say it's probably the most productive and inspiring period of my professional life.
That's awesome. Could you give us a quick overview of what's in the book?
Sure. I could talk on and on about the book, obviously, so let me focus on just some of the most important features. First of all, the book is a step-by-step guide that's adapted from the leading research in the field. Secondly, we have outcome visioning that's featured. It's a new way to provide motivation during the change process. Third, we have a very concise book. There's only 5 chapters. People really like that because they can read it in 1 or 2 sittings.
Right.
And the process that people develop as they go through the book only takes about 15 minutes a day after they've developed their habit change plan. Then we have the tips on how to help others change. That is a very popular section. But one that I'm most proud of are the 3 continuing cases. We follow Debbie, Sally, and Adam as they are formulating their habit change plan step by step, chapter by chapter. Debbie is working on a plan to lose weight. Sally, her plan is on improving her self-esteem. And Adam is focusing on anger, working on his problem with anger. And then we have the action steps at the end of chapters. Think of those as mini assignments. So you read chapter 1, you do a couple of assignments. You read chapter 2, do a couple more assignments related to that chapter. And when you get done with the 5 chapters, you've got your habit change plan already formulated. But the most important feature that I'm most proud of the book is support. We have more support for any book of its kind.
Wow, that's great. There are a lot of people that are saying very positive things about your website.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. And what will people find when they get there?
There's only 1 page on the site, Ramey, about the book. The rest of the site is devoted to this idea of support that I mentioned in the previous question. Support for a better life. The site offers blog posts that supplement the book. We have the Dr. Habit Show videos, such as the one that we're involved in right now. Those are also on YouTube. We have the Workshop Leaders Guide for people who want to host a workshop and help others change. And then we have the free newsletter, Changing Habits, Changing Lives, and it features the latest developments in personal growth.
Great. So how can people find you on social media?
It's very easy. Facebook and Twitter under the name Dr. Habits.
Awesome. So tell us about your support group that you have on Facebook.
Well, the support thing, as you can tell, is very important to me, and you can get support from a partner, from a family friend, a co-worker. You can even get one from a counselor. You can get support from a counselor. But I felt another form of support would be helpful. And that's why we have My Habits Support Group on Facebook. It's at my Dr. Habits page.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's a community that's striving for a better life. Now, participants in the support group can ask questions, they offer suggestions, they support one another. And our mission? Share, learn, grow, coach. And I'm very active in that support group.
Great. So I have one final question. What is the most important thing you want people to know about your work?
I can summarize it really in one sentence. If you want a better life, you've got to focus on changing habits.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here, Ramey. It was
bet.
fun for me. Was it fun for you?
Yes, lots of fun.
Oh, that's good. Here is the question I address in this segment. Is all personal growth dependent on changing habits? Some content in this program can be found in the book. To answer this question, we first need to know the difference between a habit and a routine. Most people know habits involve repetitive behavior, but habits also involve repetitive thoughts and feelings. Overeating, for example, can be overcome in part by changing behavioral habits. Low self-esteem can be reduced by changing thought habits. Frequent fits of anger require a change in feeling habits. The word habit and routine are often used interchangeably. Consider a routine as a collection or sequence of habits. We use many routines each day that consist of more than one habit. Take, for example, grocery shopping. It involves habits and routines. When you pull into the parking lot and choose a space in the same area, you're exhibiting a habit. The same is true when you enter the store and start at the produce aisle. The way you navigate the store, how you pay for the items, and the route that you take when you go home, they're all habits. When all of these habits are put together, it makes up your grocery shopping routine. Habits determine success in all aspects of life. Consider Jill and Bill. They both have average intelligence, but their lives have followed very different paths. Jill is an overachiever with a good work ethic. She's very organized and action-oriented. 15 years ago, she earned a degree in healthcare and has a good job as an administrator at a local hospital. Jill has a great relationship with her husband of 10 years and 2 healthy, active children. She teaches Sunday school at a local church and participates in a Bible study every Wednesday night. Jill has a very positive attitude about her family, her life, and her future. Bill, on the other hand, watches a lot of sports on TV and doesn't exercise. He's 70 pounds overweight, diabetic, and doesn't accomplish very much. Bill drinks excessively on weekends at a local bar with some buddies just to let off steam. He's had difficulty keeping jobs and has trouble with relationships too. Bill and his wife fought a lot, so she left him 5 years ago. The divorce was very hard on him and his 3 children. When Bill is with his kids, it's pretty tense. To avoid the tension, he doesn't see them very often. Bill recently learned that his teenage child has a drug problem. Bill is convinced nothing will ever go right for him, no matter what he does. All of these circumstances concern habits. Jill's life is built on good habits. Bill, just the opposite. The challenge for Bill is very simple. He will never be successful in life until he replaces many of his bad habits with good ones. There are 17 areas of habits addressed in the book. Try to determine if your life would be better by changing any of these areas. Healthy eating, exercise, relationships, money management, communication, sex, spiritual growth, parenting, separation or divorce, dating, your career, leisure, and the environment. Personal growth in any of these areas involves changing habits. The book, the website myhabits.com, and my presence on Facebook and Twitter are about changing habits. But habits are only a means to an end. My true focus is to help you establish a more successful, fulfilling, and happier life. If you want a better life, you're going to have to change your habits. Here's the question I address in this segment. What 5 steps have proven to help people change their habits and change their lives? The 5-step process in the book is different than other approaches to change. It doesn't delve into your childhood or adverse circumstances that may have affected your life. It starts where you are today and tackles problems by addressing behavior, thoughts, and feelings. This approach has proven to result in sustainable change that can be realized in a short period. The book breaks down the 5 steps of habit change. Each step provides insight that guides you in the development of a plan to stop an existing habit or start a new one. Step 1 is recognize. This step will help you recognize a habit to work on. 17 habit areas and more than 600 possible habits are provided in the appendix. 1/3 are habits to stop and 2/3 are habits to start. You'll learn how to identify a habit goal and how the goal can be reduced to baby step goals that will increase motivation and success. Step 1 also includes a discussion of the core habit and how changing it can have a dramatic impact on other aspects of your life. Concepts and techniques presented in this and other chapters are illustrated by 3 people who are constructing plans to change their habits. Debbie's issue focuses on her behavior. She wants to start losing weight. Sally's goal focuses on thoughts. She wants to stop negative self-talk and start to improve self-esteem. Adam is dealing with feelings. He wants to stop excessive anger. Step 2 is resolve. Here I explain how to resolve to stop or start the habit you're considering. In other words, form a strong commitment to change. How to overcome procrastination to get started is also addressed. You'll discover that identifying the rational and emotional benefits to change is essential to form a commitment and provide motivation during the change process. Step 3 is reprogram. In Step 3, you'll learn how to reprogram your behavior, thoughts, and feelings using improving techniques. One of the techniques is outcome visioning. It was developed for the book and captures the essential elements of meditation, hypnosis, affirmations, and creative visualization. Outcome visioning is very different than the visualization that athletes use. In addition to changing habits, you'll see how outcome visioning can be used to help bring about almost anything you want, such as a new house, a new boyfriend or girlfriend, a new job, a new business, even new wealth. Step 4 is reinforce. Here we examine innovative ways to reinforce the techniques that were developed in Step 3. This will help you firmly establish the habit. You'll discover how habit alert technique is used to keep your mind focused on habit change throughout the day. Step 5 is retain. The focus of Step 5 is on retaining what's been achieved by learning how to manage relapses. Stress is the main cause of relapse, so several stress relief techniques are presented. You'll find out what to do when relapse occurs and determine why you relapsed. A new technique will help you turn negative feelings of relapse, such as self-loathing, hopelessness, and failure, into positive feelings. Here's the question I address in this segment. What is outcome visioning, and how can it help you get almost anything you want? Outcome visioning is a new way to motivate yourself to achieve goals that will change your life. It involves getting into a state of relaxation and creating a vivid mental picture of what you see, think, feel, and hear after achieving a desired goal. In other words, you see in your mind your future self. It only takes about 15 minutes a day to make dramatic changes. Outcome visioning captures the essential elements of meditation, hypnosis, affirmations, and creative visualization. Outcome visioning is very different than the visualization many athletes use. For example, Michael Phelps has won more Olympic medals than anyone. He used visualization. Over and over, he imagined swimming the perfect race. First the leap off the starting platform, then the first 25 meters, the second 25 meters, the first turn, and so on. If Phelps were using outcome visioning, he wouldn't imagine his performance leading to success. He would imagine his future self, what he sees, thinks, feels, and hears at the award ceremony where he's receiving the gold medal. So outcome visioning doesn't focus on the means to a desired end. It focuses on the desired end itself, your future self. This gives you the motivation to change. Outcome visioning is used in 3 ways. First, it's a very effective technique for changing habits. You can stop habits that cause problems in your life or start new ones that bring greater happiness. This use is covered extensively in the book. Second, outcome visioning can be used to form a strong commitment to change. My blog post at myhabits.com titled "What Makes Changing Habits So Difficult" describes 7 reasons why habits are so difficult to change. Using outcome visioning with difficult habits results in a significant increase in the perceived benefits to change, so they outweigh the consequences. That's how a strong commitment is formed. The use of outcome visioning that I want to focus on in this program is how it can be used to get almost anything you want. This is an overview of the process described in the book. Here are the 4 steps. Step 1, identify something you really want. This can be anything, even something you think is impossible. A new home or life partner, a college degree, a new career, a new business, greater wealth, being debt-free, being healed from an illness, finishing a marathon, a 5 handicap in golf, a book you've always wanted to write, or a vacation you've only dreamed of. The possibilities are endless. Step 2, develop a list of rational and emotional benefits that will be realized assuming you have what you want. Rational benefits are based on logic and reasoning. Emotional benefits are based on feelings. Consider the benefit to you and also the benefits to people affected by what you want. Step 3, write a visioning statement using these benefits. Describe a vivid picture of what it'll be like once you have what you want. Step 4, contemplate the vision. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Imagine your future self 1 or 2 times a day for a couple weeks. You'll be amazed at how real it will become. Don't be concerned with the means to get what you want. The book explains how this will manifest itself. Several examples of visioning statements are in the book. How to prepare for outcome visioning and effective ways to contemplate the vision are also provided. That concludes our program. Go to myhabits.com to see our videos, blog posts, newsletter, and more about the book, Stop or Start Habits with Outcome Visioning. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter under the name Dr. Habits. On Facebook, we have a support group for people who want a better life. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the Dr. Habit Show channel on YouTube. And tell your friends about us.
Yeah.